How you doing, everyone? And welcome to this episode of the Cajun Conservative Show, where we talk about life, we talk about liberty, and yes, we talk about the pursuit of happiness, and we show you in the audience and the world that Cajuns do have intelligence. Hope you're having a good day today. Remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. We should rejoice and be glad in it. Man, what a week. We have a lot to cover, and I am excited to go ahead and bring this to you today. Let me make sure my TikTok is refreshing so we can go ahead and we can maybe get some comments into the section. If you are live if you're on TikTok right now, please go ahead and follow me and share the show. Leave me a comment. We are not having guests today. Yes, I can put it up on the screen. Yes. Awesome. I can go ahead and put it up on the screen. If you have any comments, go ahead and let me know where you're from. I've been interested in that. I want to go ahead and know where you're from. Same thing with my Rumble people. If you are in the Rumble chat, go ahead and let me know. We have screens open all over the place. Let me make sure this is on there so we could, I'm trying to make sure everything is up. I get to see I got myself on 3 monitors here. I'm starting to feel like Dr. Michael Swartz. I'm starting to feel like the guy that sees everything. So tell me where you're from. We have 8 people in the chat so far for TikTok. We're talking about God and politics, ladies and gentlemen. And my screens are all acting up. Oh, anyway. All right, I'll just see it on the screen right here. Let's get out of this. I don't want to ruin everything. I can't see it. I can't see it anyway. I don't know why. All right. So what's happening, everybody? What's happening? I haven't done a live in a while to explain what is going on. I have been working a lot. We have a job at work that's calling for 5,000 yards of dirt. So I have been doing that on the weekends. We had Chunky Cajun in the chat. Yo, my friend, what's happening? So yeah, so we've been extremely busy in here in Louisiana. So Dr. Michael Swartz, and my eyes blink uncontrollably now from all my screens. Yes, I agree with you, my friend. Check out the Dr. Michael Swartz show weekdays, 9 Eastern Standard Time. I get it at 9 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. See, Mike, I heard your show the other day and talking about people that had to jump on the fly. Hey, I had to jump on the fly right there. Also, check out 2 Mics Live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. Now I'm starting to sound like Mike Calderese a little bit. But go ahead and check out there. They always plug my show. I guess I can go ahead and plug their show once in a while. They got a way bigger audience than myself. So Chunky Cajun said, busy. Everybody's been busy. We got the TikTok chat on here like a right-wing giraffe gifter. Okay. I didn't say nothing yet. See how they do that, Dr. Mike? See how they do that? Look, we didn't even start off yet. We didn't even talk politics yet. And they're already calling me a right-wing conspiracy theorist. It's funny. All right. So a few announcements I would like to make. One of my friends reached out to me, and I'm going to be at this event, but not talking, unfortunately. The 3rd annual Bash on the Bayou. It will be happening at Pat's Chaffalaya Basin Club here in my hometown. You can go ahead and check this out. Wednesday, October 23rd at 7 o'clock. We have some great speakers. We got Senator Blake Miguez, Sheriff Beckett Bro, friends to the show. They all will be there. I think Elbert Guillory, our parish president, Pete Delcom, will be speaking. A lot of people will be speaking that night. And they will also have a band, Hunter Corville and the Cajun Fever. They will be performing at this event. I will be there cheering my good friends on, and go ahead and check them out. It is the 3rd annual Bash on the Basin. This is brought to you by the Republican RPEC of St. Martin Parish. It's the Republican Parish Commission. My good friend Kelby Dago, also Kelby and Joe show. Go check them out. They do a good job over there. Go check them out. Also, I will be speaking at this event. It will be the MAGA Fest in Kenner, Louisiana. Pulling up the information right now. You can go ahead and find it. It will be at the Clarington Hotel. The address is 2829 William Boulevard. I will be speaking. That is October 5th and October 6th. Come out and support your friendly Cajun conservative at these events. I'm starting to get speaking engagements ladies and gentlemen, speaking engagements again on TikTok. We will not be having guests on the show today. It's a lot of confusion trying to get TikTok. I'm trying to work it all out. Please give me time. A lot goes into putting a show. Dr. Michael Source would know. He produces 2 of them. I produce 3 shows when I can. And it's just hard sometimes. But guess what? We are making it. Got a couple of people in the Rumble chat. Rumble is watching. Great. Share that show. Share it with everybody. We are going to be talking about a lot of stuff today. And a lot of stuff in a week. As you know, I do 1 show a week right now, working on some details. Just keep me in your prayers, and we will get that all done. All right, let's start with the politics. Let's start with the politics today. Just remember that, again, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Whatever happens, God is still in control. We're going to be talking about the Trump assassination once again. Me and Kelby did a great job. Last week we pre-recorded, we released it on Monday, and this was our takes. Again, Donald Trump playing golf, and he was shot. Well, he wasn't shot at. He was near. He was the perp was planning on assassinating the 45th, maybe the 47th president of the United States, and it's horrifying. It's horrifying that we had somebody that was brainwash, and I'm going to say brainwash, to think that, hearing the rhetoric that the left is pushing and execute on it. Look, the right says things all the time. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, the right don't say nothing. The right comes out with some stuff too. But you don't hear of somebody on the right taking the issue in their own hands. You don't hear of people on the right going and try to assassinate presidential candidates. Let's go back in history. Steve Scalise at the baseball field, a left-wing conspiracy nut. John Wells Booth, he was on the wrong side of history. Reagan was a Republican. Majority of time, with the exception of John F. K., most of these assassination attempts have been on somebody on the right or a Republican. Now, I know we might have some people on TikTok that might disagree with me, but just look at the facts. I just gave you a few of them. You don't hear people on the right. Now, look, we believe in gun rights. We believe in gun laws. We believe in all this stuff. You would think, hey, somebody on the right would do this. No, the last 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump's life were done by people that were influenced by the rhetoric on the left. But of course, the left don't believe this. The left don't think that they did anything wrong. We've seen this with the last 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump's life. Kelby made a prediction saying this might happen again. I'm praying it don't. Dan Bongino's saying the same thing. My friends at 2 Mics Live, Mike Calderese, made it a point the other day. He said, look, they're going to keep on trying. There's a reason why they don't want this man in office. There's a reason why. There is a reason why they don't want this man in office for some reason. And they're attacking him. And it's got so far that the rhetoric on the left is just ridiculous. And we're going to be talking about this a little bit. But according to the left, let's continue on that. After this assassination, the left didn't really. Oh, it's presumed he maybe had an assassination attempt on his life. It's not confirmed yet. The dude was in the bushes with a gun pointed to the 47th president of the United States. He was just waiting for the right moment to pull the trigger. Well, that's not an assassination attempt. He didn't go ahead. He didn't pull the trigger. Yeah, but he wanted to pull the trigger. And we got evidence now that Ruth, the assassin, the assumed assassin, he has tweets of word for word of the candidate for the Democrat Party right now and the vice presidential candidate, which I think that's coming up. Let me know in the chat if the vice presidential candidate debate is next week. If it is next week, we're gonna have to go ahead and get something going. But yeah, they the left is just these people this man was brainwashed. And see, this is why they're trying to hide it. They're trying to hide a lot of this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. But after the assassination attempt, the left-leaning media went full blown to say that this was not their fault. This is the rhetoric of Donald Trump. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is to blame for his assassination attempt. Why? Because the left says this. They say, well, he's talking about people eating animals. He's talking about migrants eating the dogs and eating the cats. And he's talking all this rhetoric and all this stuff about migration and all this stuff. He's to blame because these people are hearing Donald Trump talk, and they're going after Donald Trump. They want to hurt Donald Trump because he's pushing the rhetoric. He's pushing the propaganda. And he's a threat to democracy. See, that's why they're going after him. They're hearing what he's saying. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't agree all the time with Donald Trump. I have said this multiple times on this platform, all the platforms I'm on right now. I'm not in favor of everything that Donald Trump does. I'm against his stance on, the national ban stuff. I am against this. I wish we would have a national ban on abortion. I understand Donald Trump's perspective. I understand his reasoning why he believes that way, but I don't agree with everything with Donald Trump. And if you do, you need to check yourself. Because we tell the left all the time, hey, you believe everything the left says. And they're like, well, if you believe everything the right says, you need to check on both sides. I'm just saying. But anyway, the left says it's Donald Trump's fault. It's Donald Trump's fault because he's pushing about eating dogs and cats, and he's doing all this stuff, and he's the one, ladies and gentlemen, he's the one that pushes that and makes people want to go after him. Again, Ruth, the assumed assassin, went on his Twitter page and verbatim said the same thing that the Democrats are saying, that Donald Trump's a threat to democracy, that we need to stop him, we need to do all this stuff. Now, Harry from TikTok did a video on that, and someone did a snitch on it, and it did very, very good job. Harry left out that part. He called the man crazy. He called the man, political violence shouldn't be done anywhere around here. But he went ahead and verbatim talked about what was going on. And this, it was not Trump's rhetoric that pushed him to this. It was every day of his life hearing CNN, MSNBC, CBS, hearing Harris and hearing Waltz and hearing all these pundits and all these people saying, hey, you know what? Donald Trump's Hitler. Donald Trump's a threat to democracy. Donald Trump's this. Donald Trump's that. Let's talk about ABC, who hosted the debate 2 weeks ago, and a whistleblower has come out and said, listen, they told Harris, we're not going to fact check you. We're going to fact check Trump, but we're not going to fact check Harris. That is still to be confirmed. I want to make sure, because all these people are going to say, oh, no, he's pushing a narrative. He's pushing a false information. No, it's not been confirmed, but it's saying there is a whistleblower. And if it's true, ABC should be disciplined. I'm just saying. But ABC, I think 99% negative coverage on Donald Trump, while 90-some% positive coverage on Harris. Don't you think they have an agenda? I honestly think they think Trump is Hitler. They say it all the time, and these people are watching it, and they're oh my goodness, Trump's Hitler. We have to do something. It's not Donald Trump's rhetoric; it's the left's rhetoric, in my humble opinion. This is the second assassination attempt on a former president of the United States within 2 months. People, you're not telling me something is up? You're not telling me? And then you had Karine Jean-Pierre, when confronted about this, made a long say, they're against political violence. But she continued to say that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. I say this, let's look at the fruit of the tree. The Democrats want to push, and I'm going to be talking about Hillary Clinton later on, want to arrest people for speaking online like yours truly. And look, people on TikTok and people on Rumble, you can disagree with me. You can put it in the chat. We can have a conversation. Somebody said, boring live, just wants to talk. I want to talk. This is a podcast. This is a podcast. If you don't like it, go. Again, just making my point. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here, these people, they want to go ahead and take away your free speech. They want to go ahead and take away your guns. The First and Second Amendment. Oh, you want to take a woman's right to choose. I want to stop the murder of unborn children. You want to take the right away from me to speak. But Donald Trump is a threat to democracy for some reason. The left has pushed the rhetoric. The left has pushed that Donald Trump is evil and bad. And these are why people are doing this. So what does the left do? They blame Donald Trump for something they've done. This happens all the time. The left blames Donald Trump for something that they are doing. They are pushing rhetoric. They're pushing people to go ahead and commit political violence, but they want to blame Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump, for some reason, told people to, and look, like I said, when I heard that, I was like, oh my goodness, he didn't say that. They're eating the cats and they're eating the dogs. I don't think that's what's pushing people to do what they're doing. Let's go to the chat. All right, we got Chunky Cajun holding up the fort out there. He's talking about it. Again, someone said a boring live. Oh, I just sent somebody an invitation. Oh, that's oh, I didn't mean to do that. Press the wrong button. Let's see. Apparently the whistleblower passed, someone said. I don't know about that. Like I said, I didn't hear. We're just having a lot of people. Someone said I was wrong. What I was wrong about? What was I wrong about? Let's see. Should you be forced by the government to give a liver to someone to save their life? Okay, stop right there. If you're talking about abortion, Chris, you're ending life. You're not saving life. Okay, and look, there's a lot of people that are donors out there. That's a choice. The choice to give your organ to somebody, that's a choice. The organ's alive inside of you. But for you to go ahead and say, hey, have the choice to kill a baby. I get muted because I said something you don't like, Chunky Cajun. Oh, Chunky Cajun, why are you muting somebody? I don't know. I think this guy is nuts. You wouldn't be the first. You wouldn't be the first. That's some comments that are coming in. We have over 1,000 likes. Please, if you like the show, go ahead and hit it. Aren't you on the side crying about free speech? Well, yeah, but look, hey, look, this is the thing, okay? I'm going to talk about Rumble for a second. And I'm not sponsored by Rumble, no way, shape, or form. Maybe one day. Rumble is censored all the time. Rumble is looked down upon all the time because they're allowing conservatives like myself to talk. But you could be a liberal. And Michael Swartz, giving him props for this, he said this the other day. If Don Lemon wanted to come on Rumble and make a show, he has every right to come on Rumble and make a show. But on YouTube, if I go ahead and say certain things, which I watch because this is going on YouTube, and YouTube thinks, hey, we don't like it, guess what? They're going to go ahead and censor it. So you're talking about free speech. You're going to hell if you vote for Trump. Okay, Mr. Anderson, stop. You have to back them words up. My salvation is in Jesus Christ and him alone. If I put my faith and trust in Jesus, I am going to heaven. I do believe this, however, if you are a Christian, you're going to vote on biblical principles, and the right pushes more biblical principles than the left. So for you making that statement, sir, you're arrogant of the scriptures. You can be mad at me. I'm sorry. I'm just being truthful. All right. Another reason why this apparent assassin went after Donald Trump. It's not because of political rhetoric, according to the left. It's not because the left is pushing this stuff. It is because of mental health issues. That's right, Anna Navarro from The View. One of the worst shows in history, but I can't say nothing. I got a lower viewership than them. Maybe one day I will have more. You got to help me out, guys, by hitting the follow button and by subscribing to the show. But Breitbart came out and said Anna Navarro blames mental health issues for Trump assassination attempt. Anna Navarro told her co-host Monday on ABC The View that the second assassination attempt on former President Trump is because people with mental health issues keeps getting easy access to assassination weapons. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, because of mental health. These people are crazy. See, they have to go ahead and label this guy crazy because they forget to tell people that he's on the left and that he donated to the Democrats multiple times. Well, he does have mental health issues. Anyway, but you go, Navarro just, it's because of mental health. And because of this problem, people have access to guns. And because they have access to guns, that means they can go ahead and try to assassinate a former president. See? They're blaming mental health and they're blaming the guns. The gun did not decide to grab itself and say, self, I'm going to the golf course. I'm going to go ahead and stick my barrel to the 47th president of the United States, and I'm going to exchange fire with the Secret Service. Yep, that's. I'm not gonna do that. The firearm didn't decide that. The guy went ahead and picked up. See, this is the part she might be saying mental health. Okay, if that's the case, if you go look back at his tweets, if you go look back at his social media records, if you go back and look at all this stuff, you will see that this guy did everything that the left told him to. Now, a lot of people say, well, hold on. I had someone say this the other day. Hold on. He voted for Donald Trump back in 2016. Okay, he voted for Donald Trump in 2016, but since then he has been supporting Democrat causes. He hated Donald Trump. This comes from his son. This is, and look, oh, mental health. Okay, well, who went ahead and pushed this garbage in his head? It was shown that he listened to Harris and Waltz according to his tweets. Mike Calderese from Calderese Unleashed and 2 Mics Live is in the chat. He said, let's go. I agree with you, Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, if it is mental health, well, Anna Navarro is ratting out on herself. She's saying, hey, he was mentally unstable. His mental capacity was messed up. Well, y'all fed him the garbage. People like The View going on TV and blaming guns for mass shootings and calling abortion reproductive rights, which there is no reproductive right whatsoever in that. You're not reproducing anything. You are killing a baby in the womb. So if Anna Navarro says, hey, it was mental health. Mental health is the reason why this man did this. And people with mental health should not have access to guns. Well, this is why, and the left says it all the time, there's a loophole. There's a loophole in the gun right. No, there is no loophole. When you go buy a gun, you have to fill out a form. And if you do like Hunter Biden and lie on the form, you might get it. Just saying. I know Mike Calderese is going to like this. I thought about this. Mike, I'm drinking out of my Harris cup. Goofy. Or Whoopi. I call Whoopi Goofy. But Anna Navarro is telling people, oh, it's mental health that they have access to guns. So it's the guns' fault. I used to work at a sports and outdoor store. I used to sell firearms. So when people tell me, you don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. You know how many veterans came into the store? I would go ahead and fill out the paperwork and they would tell me, Isaac, you know, you fill out that paperwork. You're going to go ahead and do all this, but I will be either denied or I'm going to get pending status. And when you got a pending status, the FBI or whoever was doing the background check had to do more research into that person. And like I said, you know how many times this veteran would come in and get that standing and I would call him 3-4 days later and say, hey, you pass? I would tell him, hey, you pass, you can come on in, whatever. Get your firearm. There is a procedure to test out people. You post on that 4473, you had to go ahead and put on there if you had any mental problems. Again, if somebody lied on that, we can't help that. The FBI didn't do their job. And if they said yes, we couldn't sell them the firearm. Plain and simple. That's plain and simple. What's wrong with a waiting period? Nothing's wrong with a waiting period. If you listen to that's hiking or camping, which very good hobbies. It's nothing wrong with a waiting period. I'm not. If there's an issue that you have to wait, yes. You have to go ahead and wait. You know the statistics behind what's going to happen with that gun. No, I don't know. That's the whole thing though. You don't look, it's not the gun, it's the person. If the person wants to do something wrong and he lied about it, well, guess what? Mike Calderes disagrees with me. He said everything is wrong with a waiting period. Like I said though, Mike, this is where I come to somewhat of a difference. If there's something wrong with that individual and the FBI got to look at him, hey, I don't disagree with waiting. At the same time, you know, if somebody's clear and don't have no criminal record, yeah, they should get the gun right away. I don't disagree with that. Mike Calderes said again, some women can't wait and die while waiting. If you can elaborate on that, Mike, I'm trying to understand what's going on here. All right. Soul guns crazy. Go. You got this dilute. What? Huh? And look, the gun issue is a very, very big topic right now. But it's not the gun's fault. Going back to that, Anna Navarro trying to end up at the end of the day trying to blame the gun. It's not the gun's fault. Roth decided, hey, I'm going to grab a gun. I'm going to go wait for 12 something hours on that. And look, you know, on that point, I brought that up already. On that point, go listen to Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino has done a great job on discussing the Secret Service failures of that day. Look, Donald Trump's team. Excuse me, my allergies are getting to me. The Secret Service detail for Donald Trump did an excellent job. No ifs, no ands, buts about it. One guy was walking the line and saw the barrel and went for it. That was a success of stopping the assumed assassin. But what about the golf course? Look, they showed a video yesterday of how easy the man could have took the shot from his car and drove off. That's how easy it was to get to the golf course. Now, Dan Bongino is calling for investigations. What was the failures? There are even some that saying there's a whistleblower out there that will, you know, that will say that the Secret Service set this up. I won't go that far. I'm just telling you what they're saying out there. The Secret Service, they had a lot of failures that day. And we have to ask the question too, how did this guy, because, you know, if he just got there and stood there for like 5 minutes, we can say, all right, he just got there, the Secret Service did their job. This dude sat there for 12 hours, and it was off the record that Dan Bongino is a Secret Service guy, and that's why I listen to him on these issues. Ladies and gentlemen, the dude sat there for 12 hours. And you telling me that they couldn't go sweep the area before Donald Trump got on the course? Like I said, I'm not elaborating too much on that, but all right, so let's get what Mike Calderes was saying, because he made a comment, some women can't wait and die while waiting. Calderes Unleashed says, so a woman, for example, who had a crazy ex-boyfriend stalker needs protection quickly. Many women try getting firearms and some have been killed while waiting. That is a good point. That is a good point. I agree with you on that. Yeah. And like I said, if somebody with mentally, some mental issues, or somebody has been a convicted felon like Hunter Biden was, you know, hey, we need to have a waiting period for those people. But if a woman, like she said, hey, is in dire trouble, and she goes and she has no criminal background record, let her get her firearm. Now, I will say this though, and I will encourage people to do this. You need to go ahead and check your local area and see if there is self-defense classes for firearms. I got a email the other day, and it shows like the constitutional carry states and their laws. Because going back to that point, you ever been in a country with good gun laws? You ever been in a country with good gun? Well, we have good gun laws here in America. I'm just being honest. We have good gun laws here. We have the Second Amendment. We have the best gun law, the Second Amendment. Going back to what I was saying, I do encourage people to go, like, to my good friend at the Rustic Granite Grade, Caleb Morris. They do gun classes and gun safety classes. So if you decide to, if you go ahead and decide to buy a firearm, you need to go ahead and have a concealed weapons class. And look, I know several friends that do it. And look, let's even go this. I had Sheriff Beckett Bro here for St. Martin Parish Sheriff's Department. And Sheriff Bro told me that his office does it for free. There is ways for you to go ahead and get these classes. Now, here in Louisiana, we're constitutional carry. A lot of people are not going to these concealed carry classes. That was one of the issues that some of our legislators was arguing. But you should go. You should go ahead and get that. You should go ahead and learn how to use a firearm. A firearm is not a toy. A lot of people look at it, oh, so much power, so much. No, you need to go ahead and educate yourself. As with everything, with politics, with the Bible, we bring up all these stories. I read stories. I go ahead and make sure what I'm saying, in my opinion. Now, look, I'm not a news journalist. I have a news story. I give you my opinion on it. You can agree with the opinion or you can not agree with the opinion. That is you. Like Chunky Cajun. Go check out his TikTok. Chunky Cajun saying, woohoo. Not if you're in Louisiana. Louisiana for life. Yes. Firearms, baby, we protect. The law says a guy can carry a rifle. Doesn't say he can carry it to a golf course. Yeah, you know, on that note, it depends on the establishment. There's some establishments here that's gun-free zones. And if they say no, you know, hey, just... All right. If it's a person's problem, why do reps always not want to do anything helpful with mental health? Well, so going to this, Anna Navarro from The View said it was a mental health issue. And at the same time, this is why, look, let me just say this. This is Stormy. And thank you for joining the show. Stormy, this is the issue with this whole mental health issue. Republicans want to push common sense gun laws. The left wants to do it. The left wants to it's the AR-15. They want to go ahead and just take it out. They want to take it, leave it alone. Okay, bye. Get rid of it. They want to take away handguns. They want to go ahead and do all this stuff. They want to take your right away, while the Republicans want to do it to secure your right and make sure that wrongful people don't get in their hands. This is the problem, though. Most Republicans and Democrats, they don't do. They bring up legislation every so often to do something, but in reality, this is a talking point for them. It's the same thing, you know, with abortion, because Democrats will say, well, we want to stop, we want to codify Roe v. Wade, we want to do this, we want to do that with abortion. And when you ask the Democrats, why didn't you do anything? They say, oh, well, the Republicans stopped us. You had the House and the Senate for 2 years after Biden, 2 years, the first 2 years of Biden. Y'all could have done a lot of legislation. They didn't. Why? Because it's talking about, they use that on Trump. Okay, the border bill. It was a bipartisan bill. Trump shot it down. My good friend Kelby Dago and myself, we disagree with this together, disagree on this. They will say, Donald Trump killed it down because it saved him politically. They're doing the same thing with abortion. They're doing the same thing with a lot of bills. Excuse me, I got cotton mouth this morning. All right. They voted against mental health support in schools after saying it's not guns, but mental health. Well, Republicans are right. They do have some mental health stuff. Again, like I said, I'm not against you waiting if you have some issues. Stormy continue having her conversation. She's saying, somebody said that's misinformation. It's my opinion of a news story, and we got on this topic. This was good about live streaming. Dr. Mike, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but Mike Calderese can answer this too from Two Mics Live. This is the fun thing about live streaming. You can have a whole show plan and something comes up and all of a sudden you're in a whole different, my friend Chunky Cajun would know that. All right. They don't want to take it away though. Dems own guns too. Okay. Harris said that I own a gun. I don't know what gun she owns. I wish you would elaborate on that. I'm not, look, okay. Democrats are not against you having guns. Most Democrats, let me rephrase myself. Most Democrats are not against you having firearms. However, they don't want you to have guns on a wide span, or they don't want you to have certain calibers. Why? Now, like I said, there is some like Bernie Sanders, take all the guns away. It just goes to the point though, like Stormy, you using, well, Dems have gun, that means they're not against the Second Amendment. They're not against you having a gun for shooting targets, clay targets. Also on that line, they don't mind them having guns because they're the elite. They don't want us peasants to have guns. They want it hard for us to get guns. Somebody said that's a lie. Oh, not the first time. They didn't do anything about mental health because rap said, okay. Someone said Republican policies on guns is backwards. It's the Second Amendment. It's the Second Amendment. Y'all have to be responsible of what your party is doing, even if you don't agree. First of all, I'm a pundit. I'm an opinionist. And secondly, look, we're trying to keep the Second Amendment intact. You're telling me that, well, if you have okay, this is the problem with mental health. All right, this is the whole problem. If you are, let me say it like this: if you're a Christian, and the state, which we know Democrats don't like Christianity, some say they're Christians only to get votes. They will say, well, if you're a Christian or you have certain beliefs about the government, you have a mental health issue and you can't have a firearm. That's the problem with mental health. I'm talking about somebody that's like legit crazy and has been proven. But if I go into a store because I'm a Christian and the government says, he's a Christian, we're not going to give him a fire. He's a Republican. He's crazy. Because look, my brother told me a story today. There was somebody on the left-wing media said, look, if you're a Republican, oh, no, correction. Someone that went to school at Harvard, they said, if you're a Republican or a Christian, you're crazy. Mike Calderese, they might think Mike Calderese is crazy. And some of us will agree. Love you, Mike. All right. Somebody said we don't have red flag laws in every state. No, I don't agree with red flag laws. So let's see what we got. The Second Amendment is worth more than kids not being shot at school. Well, look, okay, so on that point, look, St. Martin Parish, my parish right here. Sheriff Becca Bro has a sheriff deputy in every school. Why can't we do that? No, the first thing is let's get rid of the guns. Again, we're not talking about the individual that is thinking about hurting people. We're talking about the gun. Let's get rid of the gun. But what about protection at the schools? Why isn't that talked about? The Second Amendment is there for us to protect ourselves and also to stop a tyrannical government. That's why the Second Amendment needs to be put in place. So, do you think Trump is a Christian? BSB? No, I don't think so. Now, he was on Gutfield, which I think I got that story about him being on Gutfield, and he did mention God in there. Do I believe he's a Christian? Well, you can mention God and not be a Christian. I believe that. I've said it multiple times on this show that that Donald Trump is, I don't believe is a Christian, but at the same time, I could be wrong, but I don't believe so. Now, at the same time, do I agree with a lot of his policies? Yes, I do. Thank you for the question. If they show mental instability, we need red flag laws. That's insane thinking. Listen, Stormy, I don't know if you have a sold a firearm or you ever been part of a store that sold firearms. I explained the whole process earlier. You have a 4473. You have the FBI that looks into it with their database. You have to fill out that thing correctly. If they lie like Hunter Biden did, that causes issues. Because the 4473 talks about mental health. It talks about drug use. It talks about you being in jail. It talks all about that. There's even a law in here. I know here in Louisiana, but I think it's all over the place. If you're a felon and if you ask Joey Bag of Donuts to go buy you a firearm and Joey Bag of Donuts know that you're a felon and he goes ahead and says, yeah, I'm still going to get it, that person goes to jail. That person goes to jail. So that this whole argument of, red flag law, there is a process to watch for this stuff. There's a two-wall fire system, if you can say. There's the 4473, and then there's the database that checks your mental health capacity. And I am, someone asked me, you really think Trump believes in God? Well, he talks about him. Like I said, though, you can believe in God, you can believe in Jesus, but if you don't surrender your life to Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you believe in him all day long. You have to surrender your life to him. The Mike Calderis says, I am definitely crazy. Calderis also told me to tell people that red flag laws are the dumbest thing anyone can listen to. I'm trying to explain, Mike. Mike Calderis from Two Mics Live is in the chat. He is a good friend of mine. We all met. And look, there's a funny coincidence. I heard them talking, I think it was last night. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. Two Mics Live was talking last night, and I made a comment about Hillary Clinton, which I still need to get to. I still got a lot of stories, and we got onto this gun legislation stuff. But Mike Calderis and me met through Dr. Michael Schwartz. I interviewed Dr. Michael Schwartz for his book, Fauci's Fiction. It was a book on COVID. I don't have it with me right now. I have the book. Dr. Michael Schwartz sent it to me. I should have got him to sign it, because if I would have known he was this big Rumble star now, I could have sold it on eBay and made some money. And then I could have bought some new equipment and talked to Rumble. And anyway, no, Dr. Michael Schwartz sent me a book. I let a friend borrow it, and he's still reading it. But I interviewed him. We talked about the book. And Dr. Michael and me became good friends. Well, he introduced me to Mike Calderis, and then me and Mike Calderis, we did each other's shows. Since then, we have been good friends. So I'm going to go ahead and support Two Mics Live. Every chance I get, I put them on when they're live. I try to listen to Dr. Michael Schwartz while I work. So, hey, go check them out. And they very interesting friendship, how this all happened, and I've never regretted it. And yes, I do know that Mike Calderis is absolutely crazy. All right. Let's go. But red flag laws are the dumbest thing ever. Chucky Cajun told these people, you don't understand the Second Amendment. A lot of people don't. Teachers do not need to be armed. Imagine the increase in gun violence. Stop right there. Butters. There is a state that allows teachers. I can't remember what state it is, but there is a state that allows teachers to have firearms, and they have not had an incident. Again, this is where it goes to properly understanding firearms and having training. Let's imagine this. The schools would say, hey, we're going to go ahead and give teachers concealed carry classes. And we're going to have a protocol where at least one teacher is in school with a firearm. And then we're going to have an armed agent or armed police officer outside there too. The person that's trying to commit the crime of a mass shooting is going to walk up to that building, and if he hears, oh my goodness, there's a gun in this school, 9 out of 10 they're going to deter it and they're going to run away. And this goes to the same point too. You had Columbine and all that stuff back in the day, but I could be wrong, but they used to let kids carry shotguns and rifles in the back of their car, in the window. I remember growing up. And I remember seeing every so often somebody with a headed rack with some guns inside of it. That used to be allowed in school. That used to be allowed to go. And you know what? They went ahead and they started implementing, oh, that is not right. You shouldn't do that. And then crime started going up. So this whole thing about more guns create more gun violence. No, it does. Imagine like this, okay? We're in the Western days and we have all, firearms on our sides or whatever. A man goes into a bank and says, hey, everybody on the ground. He has one gun. Imagine if 20 people pulled out a firearm and said, you go on the ground. I'm just saying, Tennessee does it to start. So Tennessee goes ahead, and Mike Calderis is confirming what I said. He also said he's crazy sexy. Well, if your wife thinks so. Isaac guess it's called deterrent. These more maniacs want easy targets, not one that have the potential to fight back. Great point, Mike. Great point. We got a lot of people commenting on TikTok as well. Let's see. There's a direct correlation between the amount of the firearms and the amount of the violent crimes. Elaborate on that, Massey Nick Art. I do, and all laws in my state have went backwards because of Kent. Stormy, I don't know. The Second Amendment, there's too much going on. Too many comments. 33 states allow teachers to carry guns. Hey, and look, I agree with this. Hey, Mike, if you can look for me, I have all kind of stuff going on. Is Louisiana one of them? I don't think Louisiana is one of them. They should push that. Somebody asked, what's the Third Amendment? I would have to look it up. So painful to hear you read comments out loud. Don't. Hey, I'm not the best reader. I've already said I'm not the best reader in the world. All right, so let's go to my next story. This is still connection with the assassination attempt last week. This happened yesterday. House votes to increase Trump's security days after second assassination attempt. This is from the Daily Wire. And look, I'm going to give a hand clap to the Democrat Party because they're even asking questions about the assassination's attempt and all. It was 450-0 that they vote for this legislation that would protect Donald Trump, and just not Donald Trump, but increase security for any other presidential candidate going forward. The House of Representatives voted unanimously on Friday to increase security for presidential candidates less than 1 week after a second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. The House voted 405, I thought it was 450, correction, 405-0, adopt a bill that would stabilize security for presidents, vice presidents, and major presidential and vice presidential candidates. The votes come just days after a man was arrested after the Secret Service said they spotted him lying in wait with an AK-47 outside just a few hundred yards away from where Trump was playing golf. Now, I'm going to say this. You see when the government does work for us? And look, look, everybody on TikTok, everybody on Rumble, if you're listening later on Spotify or Apple, or you're listening on YouTube, comment and say, look, this is the defining moment. I agree with Democrats, almost all of them in the House of Representatives. See, when the government wants to get something done, it can get something done. I'm just making a point. When the government wants to get something done, and look, this is good for President Trump. This is good for Harris. This is good for Waltz. This is good for Vance. This is good for everybody that they have this increased security. But I'm going to tell you, out of all four of these people, Trump, Vance, Harris, Waltz, Trump is on high alert because it could happen again. It could happen again. All right, so let's move on to the next story. We talked about guns. I've given you all my opinions, and we can always do a live stream on this later on. Mike Caldery said Louisiana isn't one of them. I wish Louisiana would allow our teachers to have firearms. But look how long it took us to have the concealed carry. And look, granted to Blake Miguez and I can't think of his name right now, one of our state reps that pushed this through, Jeff Landry. Jeff Landry here in the state of Louisiana did a great job in pushing this through and, giving us concealed carry. But under John Bel Edwards, we would have never had this. All right. This week, I was laughing. Israel is in a tough spot right now in the Middle East. Israel is fighting Hamas in the south. And in the north, you have Hezbollah that's coming from Lebanon. There's a lot going on in Israel. So before I even start, just remember the Bible says when you start seeing the wars and rumors of wars and you start hearing of trouble and birth pains and all this stuff, it's getting close. I'm going to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, Jesus Christ is coming back, and he's coming back fast. He's coming back as a judge, and the signs are here. Jesus is coming back. Now, a lot of people might disagree with me, but hey, Jesus is coming back soon. But the Bible also says pray for the peace of Israel. Now, Israel, I would hope, would come up to a ceasefire agreement. They would get the rest of the hostages back home, all this stuff. But Israel needs to defend himself. And this week, Israel hit Hamas in the mouth. They hit Hamas in the mouth. Why do I say that? Well, Hamas thought they were being smart. And they went ahead and purchased pagers so they can communicate with one another. They also had walkie-talkies and whatnot. And they did not want Israel to, get into their conversations. They didn't want Israel to intercept their messages. So they didn't use cell phones. If you went into, Israel said this, if you went into an Hamas meeting or whatever, you had to put your cell phone on the side or whatnot. So they got these pagers or beepers. Now, I didn't even know they still use them. When I was born, which was in the 90s, Some people still use them, but that was the early cell phones, I guess you could say. Now, people in TikTok and people in Rumble, tell me if you remember beepers. Tell me if you remember pagers. So look, for all my new followers or the new generation that's like, what's a beeper and what's a pager? It was this little device you put on your hip, and somebody could call you from something that you also know, like a pay phone or a phone somewhere. They'll dial the number, leave you a message, it will beep you. You go ahead and look at it, you read the message, and you have to find a phone. That was the early communication back in the day. Oh, I need to find a pay phone. I need to find, and that was a pager. Well, Hamas shows how far they're in the Stone Age. They went ahead and used this, and they thought it was a neat communication, and nobody can know about it. Well, Israel got a hold of this. They intercepted. Some people said they didn't intercept. They built them. They put some explosives in the somebody said it's been a rough 30 years. Is that you talking about the pagers, or I don't know. But anyway, so Israel took these pagers and walkie-talkies, went ahead and put some explosives on the battery. And they had a way to where when they needed to, they could press the button and they would just explode. Well, Israel got word that I think Hezbollah was about to try to assassinate one of their leaders or their former leaders. And Israel's like, well, we can't have this. And it got word by two Hamas people that, Hezbollah, that Israel tampered with their beepers. So Israel had to make a choice. Israel had to say, listen, do we explode them or do we let them find it and we show our weakness? Israel said, let's go ahead and hit the button. Sent them a message. They looked at it, and so far, at the time of this recording, I think 10 people of Hamas have been taken out. Several hundred have been hurt, and this is all their leaders. This is not just regular fighters. These are their leaders that make decisions. And Israel went ahead and took out all these people. Do you imagine hearing of me? And whoa, boom! Israel took out their enemies. Now, the U.S. is upset about this because we didn't know nothing about it. You know why Israel didn't tell you about it? Because you would have went tell Hamas. Anthony Blinken would have held a press conference that we just got some information that Israel's about to attack Hezbollah and they're gonna blow up their beepers. Then the next day, another series of explosions happened. It was the walkie-talkies. Hezbollah's leader came out and said, we will retaliate. We will go ahead and take out Israel. And the walkie-talkies started blowing up. Ladies and gentlemen, look, they seriously wounded Hezbollah. I have a friend of mine that's a leftist. He has the app on his phone when sirens go off in Israel and talking about rockets and stuff like this. He told me, and look, I talked to this guy. He's in my fantasy football league. He went ahead and sent me a message and said, look, ever since that's happened, not one rocket, not one drone, Israel has not been has been attacked. Now, if you remember, now Hezbollah, and a lot of people will listen to this, and Hezbollah supporters will say, well, hold on, Isaac, hold on. That's wrong. They hurt innocent people. These people started it. The reason Hezbollah started attacking Israel was because Hamas went ahead and attacked Israel on October 7th, which is about to be a year, I think next week. Next week or 2 weeks from this episode. These sinuses are killing me. The Hezbollah and Hamas. Well, Hamas attacked Israel. Israel retaliated. Hezbollah said, oh, you can't attack Hamas. So they went ahead and attacked Israel. Ladies and gentlemen, Israel is defending themselves. This is part of their defense because Hezbollah has been sending rockets and they have evacuated people from the northern part of Israel. People are out of their homes. So anybody that says, "Oh, this is wrong by Israel," why is it wrong for Israel and why is it not wrong for Hezbollah sending rockets? Well, it's not right either. Well, Israel has to defend themselves. Now that Israel didn't stop there, because Israel's telling Hezbollah to stop. Now this is from CNN. See, people, I do read CNN. I have to say this all the time because all these people, you don't read nothing but conservative news. No, I read CNN. I got CNN on my phone. CNN World News right now. Hezbollah confirmed top commander killed after Israel airstrike in Beirut. Israel has not stopped. Israel's saying, look, we're going to take them out. Now, Israel has focused more on this conflict than Hamas because they have not, everything isn't under total control in Gaza, but it's close there. Hamas is almost done. And this is why we need to let Israel defend themselves. And look, this also shows Hezbollah and Hamas, hey, Israel has some good intelligence. I would have never thought of taking beepers and using them for my advantage. I would have never thought of that. I would have never thought of that whatsoever. And now look, these people, they're wicked. The Hezbollah people and the Hamas people, they're wicked. And Israel needs to finish the job. They need to take them out. I got lost in track. So we have some people saying CNN, Mark Robertson. I don't know who the article is. Israel has a right to defend themselves from Uncle Sam. Yeah, Uncle Sam is protecting Israel. I saw a comment I wanted to address. I repeat, these videos are comical gold. Chucky, what you talking about? Fake news unless it works for my point. No, I read both of them. I will say some things that CNN pushes fake news. But I have Politico, I have CNN, I have all these people. 5,000 likes. I didn't even know that we had that many likes on here. So either you read CNN or you don't know the story. There's more people than CNN. I promise you. The video of the pagers going, oh, okay. I didn't see them. All I did was read stories. America first, baby. Look, I agree with you. America first, baby. We should have America first. Keep hitting that like button. All right. Man, I know college football is about to start, and it is. Oh, well, I got time. All right, so we got a couple of other news stories. So Hillary Clinton was back in the news. It's election time, ladies and gentlemen. Hillary Clinton's back in the news. The Wicked Witch of the North. I can't say the West. She ain't from the West. She's supposed to be from New York. She, I don't know how. Anyway, the Wicked Witch of the North is back, Hillary Clinton. And she went ahead and went on MSNBC and said some stuff that, made my skin crawl. Because remember, this is the Democrat Party is supposed to be the party of democracy. They want to protect democracy. They want to protect you, the American citizen, from the big bad orange man. But when you start hearing Hillary Clinton talk, you realize they're not really trying to protect democracy. First off, we're not a democracy. They call us a democracy, but we're not. We're a constitutional republic. We're run by a set of laws that are written in the Constitution, and our republic decides how we, do. And it's funny I have to explain this because people are like, oh, no, we're a democracy, popular vote. No, popular vote don't mean diddly squat here in the United States. We don't have a federal election. See, Paris has a federal election where it's where the popular vote decides. In the United States, it's not the popular vote of the whole country. It's the popular vote of each state that determines who gets the electoral college votes. So in reality, we don't have a federal election. We have an election day where all the states hold their private elections and they send the results to the Capitol. That's how it's supposed to be. And their representatives, they're like here in Louisiana, we have 8 representatives that go to Washington, 2 senators and 6 congressmen. Or congresswomen, depending if you, Lori Letlow. So these are the people, and like I said, a lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people don't understand that how the election cycle happens. Anyway, continuing. But again, Hillary Clinton's election cycle, and she calling us a democracy. We're not a democracy and all that stuff. But 3 things are certain in life: death, taxes, and Hillary Clinton. This is how the article starts. I don't know if she wrote a new book or whatever, but she's on she's on MSNBC, and she's on the Rachel Maddow show, which a lot of people talk about. We was talking about fake news earlier. Rachel Maddow has pushed some of the most fake news ever. She don't know how to tell the truth. And she pushed Russian collusion. She pushed bloodbath. She pushed all this stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, she's lying. Not like a lot of people say I'm lying or this is fake news. Rachel Maddow has pushed more fake news than anybody. But she's on MSNBC. So Clinton made this appearance, and she made a comment about free speech and about people being jailed, that they're pushing false information. I'm trying to find the quote. I have the video here. You know what? I might just go ahead. Let's do this. Let me pair my device. Let me pair my I'm gonna pair my Apple product here, the iPad, and I'm gonna just play the video. Let's unpair this. Yes. I'm trying to pair technology. You got to love it. Wrong button. There we go. Nope. Wrong button again. Okay. There we go. Now it's connected. Sorry about the technical difficulties. All right. So we got this right here. Let me go ahead and just play the video, and we'll comment on her video as I play it, because you have to hear it. And it'll look, this is Hillary Clinton, guys, please. Oh shoot, I forgot about that. We won't better, the TikTok won't better hear it. Anyway, okay, let me just read her quote. I found her quote here. All right, Clinton speaking of the Russians boasting Trump back in 2016, but I also see that's another lie too. Going back to that, Hillary Clinton pushing lies. Democrats push lies. We saw this in the debate with Harris, where Harris talked about blood pact and Charlottesville and all this stuff. They're pushing these lies to their people that are, and they call us liars. I'm just saying. Anyway, but I think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda, and whether they should be civil or even in some cases criminally charged in something that would be a better deterrent. She's talking about free speech. She's talking about people like yours truly and whoever else, the Chunky Cajun, Mike Calderese, Dr. Michael Schwartz, to anyone that does a show like this and they disagree with them. Oh, they're deterrent, and they need to be either civilly or criminally charged for pushing false information. Again, I just questioned about Russia collusion. Hillary Clinton is pushing Russia collusion. They stole the election from me back in 2016. Now, Donald Trump can't say the election was stolen, but Hillary Clinton can still push and say the election was stolen from her. And she could keep pushing this Russia propaganda crap. But she can push false information. But poor conservatives, they can't. Let me do this first. TikTok telling me I've been in here too long. All right, let's verify. We just verified. She also continued, I don't understand why it's so difficult for the press to have a... Now, she's talking about right here, she's talking about how the media needs to continue going after Donald Trump, like they did for ABC in the debate. Fact check Trump, but don't fact check Harris. Harris told some, like look, the biggest one right now is that we have no military personnel in a combat zone. There's that viral video that went on TikTok where the service members are like, well, where are we at? I don't understand why it's so difficult for the press to have a constant narrative about how dangerous Trump is. You know, the late, great journalist Harry Evans, one time said that, journalists should try to achieve objectively. And by that, he said, I mean, they should cover the object. Well, the object in this case is Donald Trump. He's majorly can't say that word, excuse me. He's dangerous to our country and the world, and stick with it. See, that's the narrative she wants to meet. And look, we already know the left-wing media has been pushing for Donald Trump to lose this election. And look, CNN, we mentioned CNN. CNN did a good job moderating the debate between Biden and Trump. Now, if conspiracy theories are true, which a lot of them are, they were trying to get Biden out of office or trying to get Biden out of the race. So maybe that's why they were fair. I don't know. But but ABC, who didn't do a good job moderating the debate, fact-checked everything that Donald Trump said, but let Harris run with lies. See, that's what Hillary Clinton's saying. We need the media to show the world that Donald Trump is evil and Donald Trump is wrong for this country, but let's show all the positive light on Harris. That's what they're pushing. They're pushing for Harris to be the president, and they want her to win, so they're not going to talk bad about her. But Hillary Clinton wants to go ahead and tell the media, hey, just focus on Donald Trump. Now, Do you know that Hitler did this with his news media? Hey, whatever we say goes, and whatever we disagree with, you don't talk about. Is ABC and left-wing media part of the propaganda that, trying to stop people from getting the real news? And look, a lot of journalists back in the job of the journalists, and Tucker Carlson's book, trying to remember the name, The Long Slide, talks about it. He talks about early stories that his editors did when he first started. And he said how the editors might have been left-leaning, but they reported the news and they let the opinion be formed by the reader. They don't do that no more. Journalism, as Sean Hannity said, is dead. But yeah, Hillary Clinton bringing out some disturbing quotes from MSNBC. Wants the media to bash Trump and not report anything on Harris, and wants to take away free speech of people that want to do it. But this is the party of democracy. This is what the Democrats want. They want you to have free speech as long as they agree with you. If not, well, love to live debate you just on fact checking. Kamala, message me. We'll try. I have other people that have asked me for that, and I've said I'll do it. We need to find time to do it. But you're saying fact checking Kamala. She lied on a lot of stuff. She did, and the moderators let her slip. I just mentioned two of them. So, all right, man, I'm pushing for time. And y'all probably got tired of hearing this Cajun conservative. Man, my throat. Mike Caldery said he likes him some Goofy. I'm gonna have to find him a cup and send it to him. All right, two more stories. Then we'll wrap this up and go watch college football. On that note, wait, but let me stop. The Cajuns play Tulane today, and I think they play USB, LSU. In the comments, tell me who you pulling for. Let's find some common ground. Let's find some things that we can agree on. Tell me who you like in college football today, because I'm pulling for LSU and I'm pulling for UL. All right. Oh, I'm about to start my story and I think of something else. Got a new Xbox. All you PlayStation people, please don't get mad. Sweet Alabama, baby. South Alabama. I thought you said sweet. South Alabama, baby. At least you didn't say Crimson Tide. At least, South Alabama. Yeah, it is Sunbelt. Man, dude, I thought we just had a moment of unity, and then you mentioned South Alabama from the Sun Belt. Good team, though. Good team. On that point, going back to that, I bought a new Xbox. All you PlayStation people, please don't crucify me. I have a PlayStation 4. This is the first Xbox I've ever bought. So please don't crucify me. I am a good person, PlayStation people. Funny, my sister called me, and my boys are excited. They got a new game system that they can play. And my second child goes to my sister, my little sister, who's a PlayStation person, and says, hey, Daddy bought Xbox. And my sister, without a beat, said, oh, he went to the dark side. My 6-year-old says, no, he went to Walmart and buy it. I died laughing. Anyway, so I bought Xbox, and I downloaded the free trial for college football. And this is why you need to send me gifts. But yeah, so but I'm trying a free trial, and look, that game is hard. If you ever played college football on Rumble or on TikTok, go ahead and tell me. If you look, even that though, okay, if you're listening to this on the podcast side, the audio podcast, and are you watching on YouTube, comment below and tell me, what do you prefer, PlayStation or Xbox? And tell me if you're having trouble with the new college football 2025. I had trouble last night. I was, especially LSU. For some reason on that game, LSU's defense can't stop the pass. I don't know what's wrong with that. I did beat the Cajuns, though. I made me a road to glory, and I signed with Kitchener State, I think their name is. And, yeah, but college football today, guys. Go ahead and pull for your team. Let's continue with some of the news stories. Joe Biden had his first cabinet meeting in almost a year. a year, ladies and gentlemen, the full cabinet of Biden has met. But something was odd about this. Joe Biden was sitting at the head of the table. You know how these meetings go. Okay, the president is in the middle, and he's, talking with his cabinet members. He's answering questions and all that good stuff. But they had Joe Biden at the head of the table, and the first lady was slammed on social media for being there. This is from the Daily Wire. President Joe Biden introduced Jill to the meeting. He said basically, take it away, kid. You know how Joe Biden is. And she talked about some stuff with women's rights and all this stuff. His quote, let me quote it. "It's all yours, kids," he said, passing the torch to his wife. But yeah, so this whole cabinet member and Joe Biden's there. And she was leading the meeting. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the president of the United States. He's not running no more, thank goodness. But if he wasn't capable of running a campaign to be president of the United States, how can he run the country? And look, we saw this after they went ahead and removed him from his candidacy. 'Cause I'm going to say that he didn't choose to pass the torch. He was forced to pass the torch. This man cannot run our country. This man cannot function. He's giving this cabinet meeting to his wife. And look, I don't know what she talked about or whatever, but it does not look good when you tell your wife, hey, it's yours, kid, take it over. This is supposed to be the leader of the free world, and people wonder why our country's in a mess. Now, I'm going to say something. Every time I talk about this, I wish he would just go ahead and resign and give it to Harris. Harris is already running for president, so she might be the 47th president of the United States if she wins. Now, if he would resign and she would take it over, she would be the 47th president of the United States, and Trump would have to be 48th if he would win, or whatever. But Harris, now look, this will be the only downside to this. Nobody voted her in as president. But Harris, look, I don't think Harris is capable of running our country either, but I think she's better than Biden. If you agree, someone asks, is he talking about Trump? No, I'm talking about Harris. I wish Harris would, talking about Biden not capable of leading the country. Harris should just go ahead and take over. She's already running for the position. This man is not capable of running our country. We have not seen him since that day. He's rarely in the public now. We don't know what's going on in the White House. After the debate and after they removed him from being the candidate, he went ahead and gave his duties to everybody else. This does not look good. And especially that this was the first cabinet meeting within nearly a full year. What's going on in the White House? Look, this isn't nothing political. I'm just saying you have a man that they told us is not capable of running for president of the United States. And I know, look, this propaganda of the DNC. We thank you, Joe. We thank you, Joe, for passing the torch. I sound like Joe Biden right there. Thank you for passing the torch. Oh, Joe, thank you. We respect you. They forced this man out of the race. Because after that June debate, he was down in the polls almost 20 points. He couldn't win. That's why they went with Harris. But the whole thing, he's not capable. Well, if he's not capable of running a campaign, how is he going to run the country? Again, this does not look good. This does not look good for Joe Biden. And I know a lot of people might look. I have the sports current. The sports is current is here. And look, hey, we're just talking about college football, man. You're a day late and $1 short. Got to get you onto the show. He's not capable. And for him, and look, I understand there's no meaning. She had an agenda. She was going to talk about something. There's a lot of stuff going on here, ladies and gentlemen. We have the war in the Middle East. I talked about it a while ago with Israel. And the first cabinet meeting is going to be about whatever she wants. Come on, man. A meeting, never had a, they haven't had a cabinet meeting like that. That alone, they have not had a cabinet meeting in almost a year. And we got somebody cutting grass outside. My father is cutting his grass. Excuse the lawnmower. So somebody said, tell me more about Jimmy Swaggart and Jim Baker. We're not going to get there. Anyway, leave Joe alone. He won the election for Harris. He did all the legwork this time. He did all the legwork. Harris hasn't done a debate in almost 60 days. Not a debate. Correction. I know people are going to. A formal press conference. Because she's done interviews. Which all softball questions. They're doing what Hillary Clinton said. Target Trump. Don't worry about Harris. Don't worry about her lies. Anyway, one more story. Then we'll wrap this up and go watch some college football. Is the sport? I want to see the sports current. I want to ask you a question, guy, my friend. Who you pulling for today? What's the game you're watching? College football. College football is today. We only listen to speakers who don't live with their parents. I don't live with my parents. I do not live with my parents. See, Miglo, would you say, oh, he live? No, I have a house. I have a wife. I have kids. I don't live with my parents. See, I have a job. I just said this. The reason I didn't go live last week was because I was working all day. I have a house. I have 2 vehicles. I have a family. This studio is next door to my mom and dad's house. So before you say anything, get the facts, my friend. I don't live with my parents. Golly, man, you left-leaning people. You can't debate me on issues or anything like that. Try not to sound those so defensive. Well, y'all do it all the time when y'all offended. Come on, people. All right, one more story, then we're going to go home. All right, so Tony Dungy is in the news. I'm surprised NBC has not fired him yet because he went ahead and challenged Harris on something. So Harris put out a tweet, and the tweet reads, X. One does not have to abandon their faith or deeply holds beliefs to agree. The government and certainly Donald Trump should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. This was a quote from Kamala Harris. And she made this point because a lot of people right now, especially in the faith community, they're asking Democrats that are Christians, how can you vote for Harris with her stance on abortion? I'm still planning on doing it, but I just, with the news cycle, things change. 2 weeks ago, we was talking about a debate. Last week, we was talking about the assassination attempt on Trump. And this week, we have all kind of other news going on. So the election cycle is moving. But I want to ask Christians this that are Democrats. How can you stand? Because on the debate, again, let's go with that. The debate, she made all these claims about abortion. And Donald Trump was correct on that. And a lot of people say Donald Trump was wrong, but I think he was right. He showed how radical the Democrats are concerning abortion. She never answered the question on, do you believe that abortion should be taking place in the 3rd trimester, the 7th, 8th, or 9th month? She couldn't answer that. And that's when ABC, we got other topics to talk about. She went ahead and she dodged that question, but she wants to bring back Roe v. Wade, but she probably agrees with California on the up to birth you can have an abortion. And, a lot of people have debunked that, too, because, the ABC moderator said there's not one state that you can have an abortion that late. And there was multiple people that said, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. They called their local abortion clinic, and they were like, yeah, we can. We specialize in late-term abortions. But going back with Tony Dungy, Harris brought this out that you don't have to abandon your faith or deeply hold beliefs. This is why she brought this out. Tony Dungy, who is a Christian, by the way, and also a great coach and a great commentator on NBC, wrote this X post. Dear VP Harris, respect, great. I hear you make this statement all the time. Exactly what faith are you talking about when you say you don't have to abandon it to support abortion? This is a question that we should ask her. Are you talking about the Christian faith that says all babies are made in the image of God, Genesis 1:26? That God places them in the womb, Jeremiah 1:5, and that we should not take any life unjustly, Luke 18:20. Are you talking about the faith or some nobles general faith that says we're good enough and smart enough to make our own decisions? What faith are you talking about? This is a challenge to VP Harris. Because Kamala making this statement about you don't have to abandon your faith, she's doing that because she knows most Christians don't believe in abortion. Most Christians don't believe in abortion because they believe it's wrong. And look, Tony Dungy did right. I praise Tony Dungy for putting out this post. Tony Dungy brought it to the scriptures. Now, all you Christians out there, now there's some that don't like Trump. I know one personally, and we're supposed to have a conversation on this. He says, my faith is why I'm not voting for Trump. See, I'm totally opposite. One reason why I'm not voting for Harris is because of the abortion stance, and that's because of the scriptures that Tony Dungy put out. And this is what Christians need to do. When Christians say, I can't vote for Trump because Trump's this and Trump's that, you need to bring out scripture to them, because as Christians, we're supposed to live a biblical life. And Tony Dungy just didn't bring out one scripture. He brought out 3 to prove his point. Now, he is right, too, of the general faith that says we're good enough, we're smart enough to make our own decisions. We have people in church. I believe in God, but God, don't talk to me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I will talk to you. I will talk to you on Sunday. There's Christians that have this. Well, I'm good enough to reach the Father, and I'm fine with that. But as a Christian, we're supposed to live a Christian biblical lifestyle. I'm studying James right now, and the whole book of James is practical Christian living. So again, I commend Tony Dungy for challenging VP Harris. Now, again, I say I'm surprised we didn't hear the news that Tony Dungy has been fired for NBC because he questioned the golden calf of the Democrat Party right now. And we know NBC is left-leaning. But he did right. He did right. Now, let's go ahead and check this out. Based around... Man, he really good at baby voices. Mingo, if you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave. I'm just saying. My good friend Eli Yoder is in the chat. Eli, what's happening, my friend? Does your mic work? Well, unfortunately, I'm not plugged up. You have to hear me like this. I'm working on getting my mic working, which I'm going to work on that after the show, because I got to do some test runs and stuff. Remedy Radio, if you know any way to fix this, message me. Who are you talking about? I'm talking about Tony Dungy questioning Harris. So TikTok, the bad thing about TikTok Studio, if I do it through TikTok Studio, I won't be able to do it through StreamYard. And if I do StreamYard, I also got a Mac computer for some reason. Mac won't let me. Keep speaking up and exposing the lies. Thank you, my friend, Eli. So, all right. That was the last story of the day. Again, like I said, commend Tony Dungy for taking a step. Because look, Tony Dungy is a known figure. He's on Sunday Night Football. He's on several sports podcasts. For him, putting out this tweet was bold. And Christians need to do this. Christians need to go ahead and speak their faith, live a biblical life, and expose lies. That's what we try to do here on the show. All right. With that being said, thank you for watching the show. Yes, Rumble, my show is on Rumble. You can hear the mic on Rumble. We had a good turnout today for the live stream. All my friends that are watching the live stream right now, please do me a favor. Share the show, like the show. As Mike Caldery says, finger that like button. Don't finger it too much, because you hit it one time and, everybody hit it if you're watching. Go ahead and tell people about the show. If you're listening on the podcast side, please subscribe. Tell a friend. Also on YouTube, tell a friend. Share the show. This week I got a new listener. They didn't know I did this, so I told them, hey, go follow me. And it went longer than we thought, but guess what? That's all right. Y'all like listening to me, apparently. Praising Tony Dungy and Donald Trump. Since when do Christians worship other men? Well, I don't worship Tony. On that point, okay, man, you just like seeing me pissed off. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because you're saying this, that I'm praising Tony Dungy and Donald Trump. No, I'm just saying the truth about these men. They're standing up. I do not worship Donald Trump. I do not worship Donald Trump. My Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ. Donald Trump's a man. He fails me. Tony Dungy will fail me. But Jesus Christ will never fail me, my friend. You need to go ahead. And if you don't know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, admit you're a sinner and accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Then I will see you in heaven walking on the streets of gold. That's my hope. That's my dream. I don't worship Donald Trump. Never have, never will. Somebody asked me a while back on this chat, do you have a MAGA hat? I don't have a MAGA hat. I never bought one. Never thought I should. You shall have no false idols before me. I do not have no false idols before me. Friend, you can have a good day. All right, everybody. Until next time, be blessed, be encouraged. You have a good one. We'll see you next time here on the show. Yeah. Oh.